Hello, this is Annette with Project Refine Life. Welcome to my channel and the October 2023 monthly wrap-up. Now, there were quite a few highlights this month, so I'm going to try to get through them as quickly as possible. First thing is that my youngest daughter and I went to go see Pink. She came to Chasefield here in Phoenix, and I got the cheap seats. So we went in there and I was terrified. Seriously. Those seats were so high and the slant of the seats was extreme. I was terrified. Seriously, I was looking below me, and once the seats started to fill up, I felt better because I thought, well, if I fall, there's people there below me. So they're going to catch me, or they're going to at least soften my fall. Seriously, it was terrifying to me. But once Pink came on, I was a little bit more calm because she's amazing. She has a great voice, and I have never ever seen somebody fly in the air, be upside down, and hold the keys to the extent that she does. What an amazing, amazing show. Another thing that we did is we went to Jerome, we went to Cottonwood, and we went to Sedona. So we did a little overnight trip. Jerome, I've talked about this in my deck and book haul. Jerome is filled with crystals and books and a really good place to eat the haunted hamburger. And then in Cottonwood, the Merkin Vineyards was opening the following weekend, and I really wanted to see it. And we were just driving through Cottonwood, and just by chance, we landed up right in front of the vineyard. To our surprise, they were open. It was unadvertised, so we were able to just walk in, grab a seat. It was an amazing view. It was nighttime. The night sky is beautiful there. We had some wine, we had some appetizers. It was fantastic. The next day we went to Sedona, and Sedona, I love Sedona, but oh my goodness, it is crazy now. So we kind of stay on the outskirts of Sedona. We went to one of my favorite places, Chocola Tree restaurant. They have amazing food and drinks. So we went and I can't even remember what it was, kind of like a cacao type of drink or something. It was really good. We visited some of the medicine wheels and labyrinths that are kind of scattered throughout Sedona. So one of them is the Supta Peace Park. It is such a beautiful place. I just love it so much. And then a couple of the other places that have some of these medicine wheels, and it was just wonderful. Okay, one thing that we attended this month, which was the first time we've ever attended it, and I really loved it. It was called the Ancestral Art and Celebration. And at this particular festival, it is all about the Mesoamerican type of celebration of welcoming in this particular season, or like this honoring of the ancestors, I should say, but done within a Mesoamerican fashion. Because Dia de los Muertos, yes, I do celebrate Dia de los Muertos, but it has been completely shifted and changed from its original way of being celebrated. So there was the danza troupe there where they were welcoming in the elements, and it is just a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. The way that it's done, the drums, so very powerful. It was just a beautiful celebration, and I really loved it. And of course, Halloween. I love Halloween. So we were able to go trick-or-treating with our daughters, and I don't know. I'm never too old to walk around and see everybody dressed up. So this is a new month in my journal, and this here is from one of the journaling sessions that I took a few months ago. And so since we're talking about this, you know, for a few months now, I've been feeling this almost burnout and trying to refocus my practice and being more intentional about my practice. Sometimes I worry that working with all of these decks can take away from my connection. So I'm trying to rebalance and reground and make sure that I'm still in it, that I'm still in my practice with or without my cards. And so this month was a month that I really tried to work into that. So one of the ways that I was able to accomplish that this month is that I discovered soul journaling sessions. Her name is Marcy. She has a fantastic site on Substack, and I found this one, which is less consistency, more devotion. And that was exactly what I was looking for. Is, yes, I show up. All of my students can count on me to be there for each and every class. If you schedule a healing session with me, I'm going to be there for you. I will give you my all. But I don't want to just be consistent. I want to be devoted to my practice. And this is where I have felt like maybe I need some breaks, or maybe I need to restructure the way that I do things. So going through this particular journaling session was really good for me. Now, Marcy offers a new journaling session every week. And it's just a few minutes, really, but I got this thing and I drug it out. It meant so much to me. I really, really enjoyed it. So the whole thing about devotion, right? Not just showing up, not just creating the videos, not just walking into class and, going through the poses. No, the fact that I'm devoted to my practice, that I'm showing up with you as authentically as I possibly can. I don't want to just crank things out. I want them to be meaningful. I want them to be true. And above and beyond all of that, my practice needs to come first, because without that devotion to my practice, I can't effectively show up for you. It's not real. It's not lasting. It's just immaterial. So I don't want that to be the way that it is. So what I did is I got these questions from her, these journaling session questions, and I got her words and I pasted them into my journal. And then I went through some decks that I felt had maybe cards that pertain to devotion, and I worked with those specific cards. So instead of just pulling a card that would come up, that would show up, I wanted to be intentional about it. I used specific cards. So in this particular deck, which is the Woodland Wardens, the sheep and blackberry, the keyword is devotion. So I really looked at the guidebook and I just started writing, just started journaling through that particular card and looking at the questions that she had, and then also including some yoga speak that I have within some books that I have in regard to yoga, in regard to connection, because yoga means to yoke, to connect, to be in union of. So it was a very, very powerful journaling session for me. Another deck that I went through and picked things out of purposefully was the Wild and Sacred Feminine deck. Guys, this is such a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. It is just beautiful. There are so many deep, deep cards in here, and the writings that they have. It is just amazing. So let me see if I can find the cards that I worked with. And I work with this deck all the time, so they might just be kind of shuffled in to the deck. Let me see if I can find it, because I wanted something that talked about the meaning of devotion, and the meaning of, not the meaning of devotion, but what you need to give up in order to be devoted. So there needs to be a certain amount of surrender. So I came in here and this is the card right here. I picked the River card, which the keyword is surrender. And in this particular guidebook, it talks about water and the movement of water and how it flows through and it finds its way And there's a meditation that I do in regard to water. And the fact that water will continue, it will change, it will get frozen, it will dissolve. I mean, it goes through all these different methods and manifestations in order to achieve what needs to be achieved. But when it finds rocks and paths, it will continue to flow. Even if there's a big rock in its way, it will continue to either go around it or go over it. And within time, those rocks, they give way, you know, they yield. So it's this idea of surrender. And what are you surrendering to, and for what? You know, what is your intention of surrender? What are you looking to gain from the surrender? Because for everything that we get, it is a surrender of one sort, of time, of patience, of there's a surrender of some sort that takes place in order to do that. And then another deck that I used was the Land Sky Oracle, and I'm not going to go through the whole deck in order to find it, but there's a devotion card in there as well. And then I just went through and picked things throughout the internet that really had to do with the idea of devotion. And I am going to show you this deck right here only because the creator of this deck has a beautiful Instagram page. It's called Anima Mundi, and she had this within her page. So I copied it and I included it here, but it's the idea that you are the offering. Your body is an altar. Your life is an altar. And living in devotion is one of the best and most beautiful offerings that you can have. So guys, I really, really enjoyed this. And there were days within my journal that I didn't even pull cards. It was just journaling, just getting back to what I used to do before. Another journaling session that she had was redefine rest and self-care. And for this journaling session, I chose the Creative Consciousness Healing Oracle deck. This particular deck is just focused on that. And, you know, for me, it was this card right here, focus, being deliberate with your attention. And that's what I was doing with these decks, is that I was pulling out certain cards to work with them intentionally. Not because that was my pull, but because those specific cards talked about something that I was addressing. Another one of the cards that I chose was, let me see if I can find it. It was Nourish. And another one was Simplify. Let's see if I can find these cards. Now that we're all here looking and spending time, I probably should have pulled them out. But just the idea that you can get these cards, you can use these decks and really, really focus in on being more purposeful. Here we go. There they are right there. So Nourish was another card that I worked with. So feeding the sweet animal of your body. I took these journaling questions of hers and really just worked into my journal with them. So here's Nourish, here's Simplify, here's Nurture. And I don't want to give all the questions away that she had there. If you'd like, I will leave her link below. But this was really, really effective for me. I really enjoyed working with my cards in a very intentional way, where I'm pulling cards on purpose so that I can work with them in a way where I'm pulling from their guidebook and then really just working into this. Okay, let's get into the new moon and full moon decks. So I use the Wild Unknown, and you know what? I have the full-size Wild Unknown, but I handed that off to my daughter a few months ago. I can always go and pull it if I'd like, but I really like these little minis. They're so cute. I enjoy working with them, and I almost kind of feel like gosh, is it because they're mini that I really love working with them a little bit more? But this was amazing for me. This really worked. So I worked with this on the new moon in Libra, and primarily I am working with the Patreon from the Forager's Daughter Tarot. She has a fantastic Patreon. It is $3 a month. Amazing, amazing deal. She always puts on these prompts for you to work with during the full moon, talking about the strengths, challenges, affirmations, and then I kind of work into the prompts that she has and pull some other ideas and thoughts. And one of my things was healthy discomfort, and she also provides a tarot spread for that particular moon. So I worked with that, and of course, I mean, we've all seen this deck, right? But I love it. It was really, really good, and I love the size of this deck. It's so cute. I don't know how or why, but I just feel like it speaks to me completely different than the big one, which it doesn't. That's just craziness. But anyhow, I liked it. So for the full moon, once again, I worked with the things that were created within the Forager's Daughter Patreon because it's amazing. It really is amazing. It's a great deal. She's consistent and devoted. I will say that much. And then I pull in a ritual and some other things that I will find on the internet or within some of my books. But there's only one deck that I worked with for this full moon, and that was the El Goliath Tarot. This is such a beautiful, beautiful deck. His drawings are amazing. Again, one of those decks that really makes me think, like, how is somebody so talented where they can do this? But I didn't even use any oracle cards. I simply used the other cards that he provides and pulled one of these for one of my focus cards, but also for my tarot spread. And I don't want to share too much of it because, you know, she does the work. But I also use the spread that is provided in the Patreon of the Forager's Daughter. So this is the El Goliath deck. One of my most treasured decks. I really love this deck. Now, October is also a time when I set up my ofrenda for Dia de los Muertos. So some of the things that I came across was this idea, you know, through devotion, of really being present in your practice. And again, I pick certain cards within this deck, the Dia de los Muertos Oracle, in order to kind of journal my way through my ofrenda. And I know it might sound crazy, but it really helped me connect to my ofrenda in a different way than I had before. So I took the ofrenda card. Let me see if I can find it here. Is it in the back? Because I've worked with it since. I took the ofrenda card and I read through the guidebook and I worked with it in that manner. And I just kept kind of going as to what was present on my altar. What was the purpose? What and why was it there? What did it signify for me? And how was that an offering to my ancestors? So I really worked with this deck in that same idea. And then every couple of days, looking at my altar and being in front of my altar, I would pick another card and journal upon that particular item that was up or on my altar. So that was the Dia de los Muertos Oracle, which is a beautiful, beautiful oracle deck. And this was a gift that was sent to me from Queen Aset. So I really appreciate that. Some of the other decks that I worked with this month. Roses, Dust, and Ashes. This is such a beautiful deck. I really like it. It is a short deck. I think it's only like 37 cards or something, but I really appreciate the work, the dedication that went into making this particular deck. And this deck was kind of my opening to just having like this complete love for anything that is created through La Panthiere Studios, who also creates the Southern Gothic. So I worked with this deck alongside the Dreamkeeper's Tarot, and I had some pretty amazing readings. I know this is not the way to set things up, but this is the way I'm doing it, guys. These really were beautiful together. The way that it was just kind of like this beautiful softness and depth within both of them. It was amazing readings that I was experiencing with these two decks. So I started off my month with these, and then I went ahead and switched, working over with the Roses, Dust, and Ashes along with the Tarochhi by Mr. Friborg, which again was a beautiful mastery of this wonderful, beautiful, these cards that just have this depth to them. It was really great. I really enjoyed working with these two together as well. So that's the way I started my month, was with a combination of those two. I'm always working with the Be With Your Body Tarot, and that is just the way things are. That has been one of the mainstays within my practice, is that Be With Your Body Tarot. But I didn't bring it out because I wanted to show you some of the other things that I was working with. So I also have this deck here, which is the Southern Gothic, and at this point of the year, I thought, oh, these might look really good together and really fit what's going on within this year. So this is the Crow Tarot alongside the Southern Gothic, and these were amazing. The Crow Tarot really stayed in a large portion of my practice for this month. I don't know why that's upside down, but these two really had a beautiful voice together. And usually if there's like animals on one, I don't want to work with something that has a lot of animals, but these two were very different because you had that ancestral speak, like this message, this wisdom that was coming in. And the Southern Gothic just really helped bring the story together as to what I needed to hear, what I needed to listen to. So these were really good together. The Crow Tarot did stay within my month, a large part of the month. And another deck that I paired it up with was the Ancestral Magick Oracle or Divination Kit. These two were really speaking, and I really loved it. I still have not combined like the spirit and the magic together. I've enjoyed working with these two separately, but as you can see, again, because the Crow Tarot to me is very much a message from spirit, I just kept working with them separately. You know, I didn't combine these two, and I don't think that I'm ready yet. I really like working with them separately, where I'm getting the message from my spirit helper, my ancestral helper, or whoever, whatever archetypal energy is coming in through that, and then the magic that they are helping me with, or helping me to understand, or helping me work with on that particular day. I really like that idea of working with this deck in this manner. Another deck that came out to work alongside the Ancestral Magic was the Guided Hand Tarot. And again, I really loved like almost the quirkiness that the Guided Hand Tarot has to offer when reading with these two decks. I really enjoyed the play of color and the brightness of it, like this enlightening of a reading. They were really good together. I really like these. Just the overall messages that I was receiving was really great. And I mean, who can, I just, this kid, look at him. He is so cute. I really like the Guided Hand Tarot. It is an amazing deck. If you are not familiar with it, I love the collage style and that it kind of floats in and out of time periods as well. This deck is really, really great. I've never done a walkthrough on it because it was an older deck by the time I got it, because you know me, most of the time I'm just kind of waiting around and get a deck way afterwards, way after it's a hot commodity. But sometimes it just takes me a while. Like with this Ancestral Magick, I even missed the whole Kickstarter on it, and then right at the end I ordered it. So this one I didn't wait too long for, but usually that's the case. So now I know that I'm doing this like kind of completely backwards, because usually I show my journal and then I go through the decks that I worked with, but I just wanted to share the decks that I kind of worked with the most. Everything is not documented within this particular journal, but I did want to share with you the decks that I really worked with a lot. And the other combination that I worked with a lot was the Enchanted Bruja Oracle. This is the second edition. I know that she has another updated edition available. And she also has a tarot deck, which I have not ordered. Maybe one day I will. I really love the art on this particular card, or this particular deck. But I worked with it alongside the Marigold Tarot. And I just think that these speak so well together. This was another deck that showed up a lot, or this pairing rather, showed up a lot throughout the month because I love these two together, especially within the month of October. They are so good together. They speak so well together. And who can deny working with all of these skeletons and calaveras rather, and this beautiful energy here of the Enchanted Bruja. I love this combination together. So that was it, guys. That was my month of October. I really focused in a lot more on being present and finding my devotion, and really retuning and refocusing my readings, and really thinking about how I'm going to go and work with these type of things, the channel, my practice, the way I teach. I'm really having some deep thoughts about how I'm going to present myself and how I'm going to remain devoted while giving you and giving my students and giving my clients the best of what I can offer. So there's some thinking going on, guys. There's some deep thoughts going on, and hopefully I can have it all squared away by the beginning of the year. So let's see. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate you being present. From my heart to you, I wish you a beautiful day, and I will see you later.